Well, it's recording, so that's good. That photo you got is sick. I haven't seen the print version yet, but my homie in Winnipeg who owns a skate shop there, 204, shout out, sent me a picture of the mag and he was like, dude, this is sick. I can't wait. I can't wait to actually like flip through the mag. It was cool to be beside my boy Demo always. That kid's the best, and he's maybe my favorite person to snowboard with because he's fun.
Yeah, is there anything specific that makes him such a good time out there?
Great vibes, great work ethic, wants to be like, but also wants to stack clips. He's just the perfect person to go on the trip with because he wants to get clips. He will work super hard to make shit happen.
Yeah.
He's also down to like relax and chill and have like, good vibes, couple beers, good jokes.
Like Derek is always like having a good time no matter what. Like it's never really a bad day with him. Like,
Yeah.
when things are down, he'll maybe like we'll get some tins, have a couple tins. It's not maybe the most healthy thing, but he's always like pumping the vibe, like, beers at the spot, smokes, vape, like
Yeah.
he's there for a good time.
You guys are like opposites then, right?
Yeah, completely.
We have the positive and the
No,
negative.
yeah, maybe I wouldn't get anything done without Demo.
And Jody is just hilarious. He's like, we're like looking at the spot, then he's telling me like worst case scenario, but it actually is like funny. Don't do that. Don't smash your shin off that and then whack your tailbone on that. That would suck.
I've always looked up to Jody. He was like one of my first snowboarders that I ever met at my local hill, and I've always looked up to him. So to have a photo next to him is kind of like a fucking dream come true.
Yeah, a couple Winnipeg boys, right?
Winnipeg boys, yeah, you know it.
Who would you say is more Winnipeg between the two?
Oh, Derek, 100%.
Dude, Demo Jody, that's a pretty fucking Winnipeg does a Swiss. They were like here on vacation, huh? Oh yeah, they're in here on wine tour. Just touring a few vineyards.
So how long have you known Jody?
17 years,
Yeah.
something like that. Jeez, we're old. He was like definitely a few years older than me. So I think I only got to snowboard with him like a year or two. And then he graduated high school and then he moved out. But I was like always like the little Grom in the crew. But then Kuzik was always the Gypsy Mob filmer, and no one else knew how to film. So I think they started bringing me along and then taught me how to film. So Kuzik had someone to actually like film them. But it was like sick. All those guys were always like legends growing up, and there was always like Jeeves showing up at the hill, and anytime he would just show up, like we would just sit down and watch him.
He's also down to lace up and get buck. And he's also like never really gotten like a lot of support financially. And there's something about somebody who's willing to put their own hard-earned money into snowboarding just because they're just so loyal to the game. That's just like,
Yeah.
I got a lot of respect. I got a lot of respect for that. And Derek's definitely paid his dues year after year. He's filmed some really good parts that have kind of like flown under the radar.
Yeah.
And he's just about it. He just loves snowboarding, which is what it's about. So
Yeah.
I remember like pulling up to the hotel, and like usually we just like stay at cheap ass places, and Jody's got like budget and shit. So he's like, I'll get the hotel. We stayed like a nice hotel, got like robes and shit.
We went to Penticton originally thinking, well, kept hearing from people there's endless spots there and stuff, and we went and there was
Classic.
nothing there.
Yeah, that's the classic line.
Yeah, just to get people there, and then everyone we were with decided to call it. They took my truck home, and then I was like, be pretty funny me just staying with Derek and Jody, and we got a nice hotel on the water and in the Soyuz, and just prep for their big day, like hot tubbing and just hanging out in robes. That's what it's all about. Wear a couple robes. I never knew that was the key. Wish Jody gave me that pro tip. It's like, yeah, man, you wear a robe the night before, go in a magazine.
We were like in Penticton with like the mountain crew, and I think Marty had to go to like that Minnesota Red Bull thing,
Right.
and Coulter was going to Cuba, so they had to leave like a day early. But there was like still snow, and we were in Penticton for like a week or so. And we kind of got over there. Couldn't find too many spots.
Coulter, Marty, Cody took my truck back to Vancouver just because they're like, yeah, we can't do this anymore. We gotta leave. This sucks. Like,
I knew Soyuz had snow. We found the spot on Google Maps and talking to Geno because Geno lives in the Soyuz, and we asked him if he can go check out the school and check this, get like some hands-on steel.
No, I so they hit me up, and then I whipped out because it's, you know, Soyuz is pretty small, so there's a couple spots that I'd had my eye on in town, been taking a look at, and things look a little different with snow. So, you know, once it snowed, went and checked out a few spots, and then shot them some photos, and then the crew came down a couple days ago, or a couple days after that.
So we all kind of synced up, but like we got there first, started shoveling, and then we kind of like realized there's like 6 boarders that wanted to hit this thing, and it was like kind of heat, like kind of off a main road out of school, but it was on a weekend, so like we didn't know if we're gonna get busted, but no one's ever hit this thing, so we're all kind of fired up on it.
I weaseled in tough. I was like, hit up Coulter. I was like, dude, it snowed. You gotta let me come. And he was like, all right, you're in. It was a good trip for what we were dealt. You know what I mean? There wasn't that much snow. And whenever you go interior, there's always just like a bit of snow on the rocks. There's a lot of rock. So it's like you kind of, but we found some good hills with some snow. We got kicked out of a couple spots. Yeah, I mean, all in all, it was like the dream crew. I mean, Mount Mountain is just like traveling with that crew specifically is like traveling with like it feels the same way that it felt like to travel with like the dope kind of guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like people want to be productive, but they know how to navigate the enjoyment of the trip is still a focus. But we're walking away with clips still, so I mean, kind of like the best.
Matt Cochran was in there. He's trying to 50-50 backtail same way, and then just messed up his knee. Matt was riding this K2 board that he found at the garbage dump.
I got it at the Callahan dump.
It was probably like a one from the early 2000s, maybe even like late 90s. Like the thing was beat, like blown out edges everywhere.
Yeah.
And then he was trying this trick, getting like really close, 50-50 backtail the same way. Like I think he got one, but came out like right before the donkey dink on the rail, so it didn't really count. And I think on the next go, he did the 2.7. I think he like hit the board on the last support, and then smashed his knee on the ground, like destroyed his snowboard. And I think Geno was there and just saw it. And I think on that drop too, he always like yells like crazy shit on his drop-ins, like Brady, Demo. And I think on that one he yelled dinos.
Matt was definitely trying the hardest thing, so he got broke off.
Getting too fired up, and then just slipped out a bit early and went right to the knees, to the donkey dick of the rail. Dick to the knees is never good. Some people like they'll be like really serious, like, yeah, border dropping or something. And I'm just like, man, I'm doing this shit for fun. Like, so I'll just like yell Derek's name. That was like most the whole winter, just yelling Derek's name. And then like, I think that day, before that bail, I think the try before I yelled Geno, and then the try I fell, I yelled dinos.
All right, dinos. Oh no, you okay?
And I remember I'm like sitting on the ground. I'm like, oh, my knees are fucked. And I just remember him walking over. He's like, you stupid idiot. Why would you say dinos before that?
Yeah, he was riding. What was he riding? He was riding an old board, like a thrifted board. And
yeah, it was like this old K2 Dart or something.
That's right. It was old enough that I thought he was like, I thought it was just, you know, like old thrifted shirt type deal, you know, like just old thrifted board.
Yeah, nice
Something cool
vintage.
Yeah, and then and it was so he wrecked the board, or the edge was popping out or something. And then I asked him, was like, yo man, like if you want to like try like if you want something different to try it on or something. I don't know how it came up, and he anyways, it came out that it wasn't like a fashion board or anything. Like he just, that was just what he could afford to get to jib on. So he got pretty wrecked on that one, I think. So he was chilling for a minute, and then when you guys whipped over to the other spot there, next spot, I went over to back to my house there and grabbed grab another board. What
So
about Dino or something? This one's for Dino, or this one's for, what do you say?
Yeah, he said the drop before he said Geno,
Oh,
and
that's-
then the one where he bailed, he said Dinos right before he dropped in.
oh god, good. See, next step would have been bad if he had one more, said something else.
50-50 to front board was fun because I wasn't expecting to go to fakie, but the donkey was pretty aggressive, so it like pitched me to fakie. But I think that it kind of added like some good flavor to the trick. And then Russ, he did a sick nose press to nose press on it. That was dope.
Yeah, so that was the first day. I just went to meet Ben, Adam, Nick, and Biel in Kelowna, and then we were like running out of spot ideas because there was no snow, and then yeah, we all ended up at that school. I like that kind of spot. I just was like, felt like I was kind of like the last on the list, so I just like sat it out, let everybody do their tricks, and then at the end I was like, okay, I'll board a bit.
He kind of got a little bit shafted because he kind of guineaed it, went for the lip slide, and then I was going for the front board. And then before you knew it, everybody was boarding on it, doing all these different tricks. But Derek found the spot, and he kind of like he made it happen. So big.
How did he find it?
Dude, I think he found it. I want to say Google Maps, but I think he might have. Adam Franks might have said something which led him to go over there with Google Maps.
Okay.
But Demo's big on the Google Maps satellite scrolling, working hard into the wee hours of the night.
Sean gave us the spot, and then I think he also gave it to Jody and Demo and like everybody else. So that we all ended up at like the same spot in the morning.
I know I didn't have a trick initially, not that I remember. But I do recall I wanting to do something other than a like 50 on the ledge.
Yeah.
I can't really nose press, so that just left with like, do a wheelie on it. It was sick. Yeah, everyone's hyped on like I'm really hyped on like ledges.
Do you ever hear about the cabin story? Yes, it was me, Coulter, Marty, and Cody, and went to like get onto the Coca-Cola like right when we turn onto the highway, and get like 20 minutes down, and there's like whole highways closed, and there's like it's like huge avalanche covered the road, like road's a sheet of ice. There's like, so you can't keep going, and it was pretty late, and we're like, oh shit. So I went to this trailer park that was right beside, got a cabin there. Power went out the next day. There's like, now the highway's closed to even go back to Hope, so we were just stuck at this cabin. All they had was like expired, like I think they had like expired Alphagettios and noodles somehow, which those never go expired. But
what sick?
They had that.
Did you eat the expired can or leave it?
Oh, we had to.
Yeah.
But they also sold they had like barely any food, but a bunch of beer. Driving around the neighborhood, drifting around in the truck, and had like some highway patrol follow us, and there's like, hey, like, we heard there's a lot of break-ins. Like, what are you guys doing? We're just drifting. There's like, oh, if you need more beers, just head back to the general store.
How long were you guys stuck there?
That was like 3 days.
Crazy. Yeah, because I remember trying to get a hold of you guys, and then people were saying you guys were missing or in some cabin for days. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. We got back into service, and all those guys were like on their phone the whole time, and like, I remember Marty got off his phone. He's like, man, people are really worried. They thought we were dead. I'm like, no one's even fucking texted me.
That road sucked too, just making that trek up. I mean, you were basically driving on washboard, it seemed like, and dodging potholes for a good portion of it. And it was scary as hell. You took that Highway 3 last year because all those trucks were on it.
Yeah, the windy one.
Well, and because the road is so narrow and they had so much snow that happened, and then all the edge of the highway was washed out.
Crazy.
And then you had all those trucks on there, and they were riding the center lane. And like there was, if you got a flat tire or broke down on that highway and like especially through like Manning Park area, you were fucked.
It was definitely, I mean, I never expected to go to a Soyos for boarding. That was definitely, I was like, I don't think there's any snow there, but sure.
Yeah, it's known for its rattlesnakes versus kind of street spots, I think.
You hear them actually up behind, right behind where this like these photos were taken is you know, you hear people running into snakes around there as well. Actually, just down from here, there's a little pathway, and there was I ran into one on my bike this summer. I was riding, and then it was just perched right on the corner. Yeah, it was pretty wild.
Freaky. Do they hibernate in the winter, or is that like something you got to deal with as a boarder out in the street?
I don't know, to be honest. That's a good question.
Benny, she's chilling right here. Oh,
What? Do you remember anything about the spot dog? No?
Spot dog.
Something?
She's chilling.
What's it like with the dog at the session?
She's good. She's actually been on a lot of sessions. She'd usually just hang out with our filmer Julian.
Yeah.
And they just like sit in the snow together and chill. And it like gave him someone to like talk to. It's sicker to see your photo or a photo you've taken in the mag. I think it's actually almost sicker having like take the photo, like be behind the lens, because then you like see your homie get it and then he's super stoked about it too. I think it's like a necessary thing. It's part of it.
I think magazines will be cooler in the future.
Yeah, I think they're starting to be kind of like records with music, and kind of like just because they're always there, right? Someone's always going to have a hard copy.
Yeah, good analogy. I wouldn't even have a career if it wasn't for Kingsnow. So
that's true.
It's true. I like that even they've made a place for Canadian snowboarders who are desperately trying to make it.
I was filming Super 8, yes.
Did you get that back, or did you see how it looked, or is it still waiting to be developed?
I think I did get it back, but like we were in Ontario when we got it back. We did get it back, but like I didn't have my computer on me, so like Coulter has the footage. But I would like to see it again.
Yeah.
Shit, it's hard to spot. Jesus Christ. Yeah, dude, that like intimidated me. I was actually a little shook. I kind of. You guys know this guy? Dude, don't. Oh, chill, dude. Fuck. Chill. We're cool.
It's gonna end up in Coulter's new film, Mount Mountain. No clue what the name's gonna be, but it's gonna be amazing because Coulter's kind of like he's an editing, filming genius. Leave him, let him do his shit, and it's gonna be sick.
Coulter's making a new Mountain video. It's 3 years in the making, and we kind of like went in last year. Went to Ontario for like I think I was there for like 5 weeks or something. I think he was there for like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
A couple trips to Vancouver, some Seymour footy.
Sick.
All the homies in there. Should be fire. Should be coming out this next month or something. Well, let's start with Salmon Arms.
Okay.
Nick Karanga to plug. We need to go with DC, Union Bindings, Time Bomb, Stance, Dragon.
Yeah, big shout outs to Crispin and Jesse for running that photo. You guys are the best. Big shout outs to ECS, aka you, for shooting me. You're the best.
Yeah.
Sure. And yeah, big shout outs to Mount Mountain to Coulter for bringing me on the project. Good and guy. Make sure you check that out. And then a big shout outs to, I don't know, K2 Vans, Ashbury. I don't know, Airtime Podcast. Subscribe today.
It's funny you that this came out. I went to a town hall meeting here 3 days ago.
No way.
Yeah, my pops. I walked up the steps and told them about it, and then I didn't look like a liar, because then 2 days later the mag showed up and I got to show it to him. He was hyped. Microwave? Should I turn the microwave on? Put something in there so the sparks are flying and shit?
Yeah, put like
throw a couple forks in there.
Cell phone in there or something.
Cell phone, yeah. Put the computer in there.
Yeah, dude. Buzz me. Let me see what it's like to spin around in there. Nice and snowy.
Mhm.
Is there anything?
Just hanging out at Ricky's.
Thanks to all our supporters and sponsors, which is nobody sponsoring that. The big question: are you in an attic or a basement?
Oh, basement. Yeah.
Wow, that's sick.
I remember. No, that was a different day.
So for people that don't know, what does DEMO stand for?
I guess Derek Molinski.
Okay.
Yeah.
Secret training facility in the desert somewhere.
What's up, big dog?
I don't know. Fuck, I didn't really think about what to like think about. You know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, fuck, this is life changing.
I just
Are we
gotta take a pizza out of the oven. Hold on.
That's kind of like going to Seymour and then like fucking with like you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Super sketchy. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, you're going down.
Or like messing with like Heenahan.
Oh yeah, you're tasting cold steel, buddy. That's all.
Yeah, no cigars, just cigarettes, but trying to get there someday.
You know it's fucked up, and I need
Oh, yeah,
basically
I know.
all this change.
I know.
Yeah.
I know who I'm talking to.
Yeah.
And I'm saying quickly,
grew
like,
up with Derek.
we don't have all day here, you know. But
I don't know. I think it was the beers that just fucked the whole call up. Sexy vacation I went on. Oh shit! I had a ghost opening doors in her house.
That's why I agreed to do it, because I figured it's not going to see the light of day anyways.
Yeah.
Totally. What are you doing? What is this?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Cool.
Yeah, I know it could be pretty bad.
Could be good.